So this video is after you've been notified that you've gotten your graded assignment back on Brightspace. I'm going to show you how to access it, and then we're going to talk about doing corrections for the follow-up questions. So I'm starting at the home page on Brightspace for the course. I'm going to go back to the folder where I submitted those assignments. And then I'm going to click on the name of the assignment. And if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see that it's been assessed. This particular assignment is just, this is the Excel file. It's just either it's graded on completion. So it's either going to be a 1 or a 0. So you can see that this got 1 out of 1. It's 100% because I did the lab, I completed everything, and that was on the Excel file. The other one that's a little bit more involved is going to be the follow-up question assignment. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to bring me to a similar screen. All right, so you can see that I have my score right here, and I didn't do too well on it. And then I have some feedback right here. So what you can do is you have the opportunity to do corrections for any of the questions you got wrong. The procedure is detailed right here. So the first says that the corrections are available within 1 week of you getting your score back. So it's 1 week from the day that you get your score back. And then what you're going to want to do is redo the question in another color, explain why your response needed to be corrected, and then resubmit the follow-up questions to, it says Blackboard, it should say Brightspace. Successful corrections will earn back half the number of points that were deducted, no partial credit, and you have to explain why your original response needed to be corrected. So what you do is you're going to want to bring up the file that you submitted, and it's actually right here on the screen. If you click right here, Density Lab, it's going to download it. I'm going to open it. Okay, so I got a 0 out of 10 on this, which means that I can correct every single question on here. I'm not going to go through and do that for every single one in the interest of time. I'll just do it for the first one and show you what to do next. So for the first one, I need to correct. So this answer was not correct. What are the correct units for the slope of the best fit line on the following graph? So on this graph, we have time graphed against pressure. What this was looking for are the units. So the units are going to be time in seconds, and pressure is going to be in a unit called kPa. So I'm going to go back into the box here. I'm going to start a new line. I'm going to change the color of the text. So I'm going to make mine, let's say red. So instead of pressure over time, what it should have been is kPa over seconds. And also, important not to forget is that you have to explain why this needed to be corrected. So the reason this needed to be corrected was that you didn't put the units, you put what was being measured, but this question was asking for the units. So that's what you put in your explanation, and it doesn't have to be very long at all. My response did not include the actual units. All right, so you go through and you fix all the ones you got marked incorrect. So how do you know which ones that you got marked incorrect? The way you do that is you go back to Brightspace. We're back on the assignment page, and you're going to click down here at the bottom. It's sort of hard to find, but it's down here at the bottom, right below your grade. This is a graded rubric. This is how I like to do grade assignments on here because it shows you which ones you got wrong. So I got a 0 out of 10 on this. So that means that you have the question, you have the number of points that you got for the particular question. And so there's some feedback here. For each question, it says that you can correct and resubmit it because I got all of these wrong. So you can have this up alongside your file as you're going through and doing your corrections. That way it'll tell you which ones you got wrong. So I would go through and correct all the ones that got marked wrong in another color, put the correct answer, and also a short explanation as to why it needed to be corrected. When you're all done with that, you're going to save your file. And I'm going to go back to the folder that I created. General chemistry lab. So follow-up questions density lab, and I'm going to call this the corrected one. So I'm just going to add on to the end, corrected. You don't have to do this, but that's how I'm choosing to do it. Save. Okay, now you got your corrections done and you can resubmit them. So the way you do it is you keep this screen up and you go and submit it just like you did originally, just like you did it in lab. So you can either drag and drop, or click on the upload icon. You find your folder and you upload that. So I would hit density lab corrected, open, there it is, and then I would hit submit. At that point, I'll take another look at your corrections, and your score will get updated, and you should get a notification when that happens.